I want you! Take part in this first-of-a-kind channel, at least as far as I know. Yes, first of a kind in a world where everything that we call good is just a remix of what was before. But what is this experimental channel I am talking about? Well, I intend to write a book. This wouldn't be all that special if that is all there is to it. So what is the special part? This book's content is determined by you, the viewer. I will upload videos that entail tales of this world, but you influence its tales. Now, this on its own would just be me doing an internet-scale D&D campaign, and while that, for certain, would be interesting on its own right, does it by no means reach the true scale of what I want to achieve. I have in my head a general idea of a fantasy world, but the details are not there. Comment with things that are interesting and I will invent them. Place them inside the story. And after that have to deal with things I at first did never intend for. Of course, credits where credits due. So your name will become part of this. And what you have created will be written in the Book of Beyond. A book to teach us history as it is being written. Those who made this world to what it is. I should not tell you what the story is all about. I cannot write just whatever, as cohesion is important to make things sound. Magic University. This would seem like a boring setting. I mean, how often did we see that already? Like that one time, where a boy was told, "You are a wizard, that one boy," and then had 3 days of school before searching a rock, fighting against a giant snake, breaks the law and breaks out a criminal, takes part in a tournament that he was not allowed to take. Oh, I guess that story in the end never was about Magic School. When I say Magic University, I mean it. I will not just upload audiobooks, but instead make videos as lectures teaching about this world, with you being a diligent student. And as any good student, do you need to ask your teacher questions for things you did not understand? Magical creatures. Learn about the world of magical creatures and how to engage with them. Learn all the strange and unknown and rebuttal the false ideas that have been cast upon these beings by those humans too fearful to approach them with honesty. Magical script. Learn how to communicate with magical creatures and learn the magical script used by all who want to use magic. A class for those that want to understand what those branded monsters in your fairy tales really have to say. History. It is important to know how we got here, and I will teach you what has happened in the past that shapes the present we are living in and forms the future we walk toward. Figure out how the weakest race of beings became the one to rule this world and what would happen in a world without magic. Politics. It is not just us humans who form relationships. We need to learn about the societal structures of those magical creatures that we live together with, and how to approach them without causing conflict. Do not repeat the mistakes of the past and start walking hand in hand with who we neglected for so long. Spellcraft. Not all magic is just about casting spells. We also imbue tools with magic, and for that you will need to learn how to bind magic to the objects. Magic tools can do anything when done by a master spell shaper, but that also means they can cause great despair and destruction. Sports. Yeah, I don't really think I can convince you to do sit-ups with these videos. And the art of the Royal Magical Knight is something only for 3rd and 4th gears. Learning to fight beings who possess magic unlike us humans is not an easy task, and something you can only decide on when you have learned enough about them. These will be subject of the school, but there will also be story chapter. Where you attend the school as a regular student is there one special class, a class that is filled with 10 abnormal students. Students who show no fear of creatures they were told to fear their entire lives. Students who seem to understand magic in a way that is far more instinctive than most people ever can. The off class, as many students call it, is led by Professor Trönev, a professor that can barely be called human anymore. The only teacher befitting of a bunch of misfits. But what will this class have to face in the future? Their minds may be set and their characters stern, but the future is an empty slate that they walk towards simply opposing whatever comes their way. What will they encounter? What tragedies will befall them? And most importantly, How will they react to those horrors created by a higher force that seems to revel in nothing but their misfortune, but also their joy as well? The more you comment to give me well thought out ideas, no random crap or alternatively I strongly alter it to fit it if interesting to some degree, the more I can be motivated to do this. This is a world made by you after all. I want you to shape this world as much as you can. And to this I will reveal these key informations. Humans cannot use magic. We simply borrow it from magical creatures or via magical tools. All magical creatures are based on real-life urban myths and tales. I will not one-to-one copy them. And also no magical creature are one-offs. If one exists, many exist. As example, Ratatoske works perfectly as messenger, but in Norse mythology was it a singular squirrel traveling Yggdrasil as messenger of the realms. I'll take the traveling Yggdrasil to make it about magic of spatial teleportation and just say that there's more than one. However, Yamato no Orochi is what it is because it is a unique being, so I cannot use tales like these. And don't tell me about what everyone has heard of. I know about Yetis, vampires, Tsukumogami. I want the fairy tales you normally don't hear about. Give me the Sears, Wolpentiger, Fate-Doman, sorry for my bad Chinese, or Mukade. The more rare something is, the more interesting are you making the story. You, the viewer, are the center of attention. I simply glue everything together. You are the student at the school, asking the teacher about things you heard about. And only then does the teacher know he is supposed to shortly sidetrack to explain what was not on the agenda. In terms of the language, I already have made one, but only loosely. You will get more to this in your magical scripts class, but things are represented by singular symbols in concept like kanji, and I will only create those that I need. If you are wondering, the channel header, or however that thing at the top of the channel is called, means it has a full sentence written in that language to give you an idea. While the English below it is the translation, you better listen closely to what your teacher tells you if you want to know how to translate it yourself. With that as a description of this experimental, first-of-a-kind channel you can be a live part of and how it comes to be done. But I am just one man who has no art skill. You can be the first person to use my description that will be loose to a point where you have freedom to bring in your own influences to create how this world looks. I will attach an email to this at which you can send these things. Don't think you are just a third grade artist doing fifth grade art. If I see something interesting, even if it is rough around the edges, will I take it over the hyper-polished art of generic fantasy. For the time being will I stitch together things as good as I can, but these are change the subject if I get something. For now are all of your books outdated, with images of the past that only resemble the real deal, but new books are ordered, with updated pictures. If you want to help in other ways, like sound and music, go ahead. And I will look at things, and also check if I can find if it is stolen somewhere else. A book written by its readers and a world drawn by its fans. At this point, what is there even left for me? Oh yeah, the tons of writing work to connect loose concepts to fit logically into this world. That means I won't be spitting out non-stop videos, unless I would see worth investing lots of my time for this, which is determined by you being a diligent student, attending your classes and asking what you want to know. I am still the focal point of everything, so this will all be canon at the same time that it talks about all the things you would never get from normal storytelling. And now a preview of the story that the off class will go through. The story that you will hear from the class one over. The one tale that you are part of, only as a bystander, asking questions about but never taking part in. A school of magic? That doesn't mean you can escape magic by not coming here. Like most of this world still has to learn. Humans adapt to being able to ignore, but not to escape it. The only ones who can use magic are the magical creatures we are living with. So it is your duty to learn. I hated that werewolf. That arrogant smile pretending like she's better than us. Stronger, faster, can use magic? Pah! If werewolves really were all that strong, they would now stand here as the ones ruling over this world. Humans are the ones who overcame all adversaries and became the ruler of this planet. I cannot accept it. That damn werewolf is pretending like that isn't true. I can't. I'm just weak. Waste. Something that is unwanted. Defect. To patch the hole my brother left behind. And yet, you are standing here next to us in the one class that sticks out most. You chose this without hesitation, by instinct compelling you, because this is where you belong. Know magic, and no one will ever come to help you. A king is not helped. A king orders loyalty. As long as you don't learn that lesson, will no magical creature ever give you its magic. A king that cannot rule is not worth serving. So you have to choose what king will you be. Will you rule, be that of a king, beloved by its folk to see a brighter future? Or your brother, he's winning. Winning against the Oni. 3 are already down, and only 2 more to go? Humans are not supposed to be able to do this. Brother always was bad with drinking, but he stopped once he needed to be a big brother for us. All we ever heard was how Mom and Dad told horror stories about him, so that we wouldn't drink. I couldn't speak for what happened, but that doesn't look to me like someone who would be avoided drinking. Any idea who my father is? Better than you, that is for certain. A terrorist, not a hero. That is who he is. His ideals are nothing more than your illusions. He's just destroying everything, seeking war for nothing but its hatred of humanity. What he wants is not peace, and you need to stop dreaming, or you will wake up to a nightmare, night and shine. Disobey the rule, break the shackles that are holding you, unleash the beast within. We needed you all this time, so that we had an anchor to keep the ship from sailing into the void. But now storm has cleared, and you are the only thing tying yourself down. We can go on to another ship, but you will always be the captain of your own. Even a clown has such a thing like honor, dignity, and pride. I will allow people to make fun of me and my ideas, laugh about my dreams, and I will chime in with you. But you will need to kill me if you want to walk past this line. This will be my last joke, and it is called The Life That I Live. Forest was burning hot, and amidst these flames that should melt my skin, do I see this girl standing in front of a god. No doubt was this god the reason for the scenario that I have found myself in. Whoever you are, you need to run, it's dangerous! My words were unneeded. There never was any danger, and this god of life, of flames, of ashes, and rebirth, spreading his wings as wide as the forest, rained down flaming feathers that would burn away all evil and unclean, fires that would restart life in a place long dead and with no future. This god was bowing down to this girl that was now looking at me.